Greetings, Peter. This is your instructor for Paraclete Academy's Understanding Mathematics Part 1. Within your first quarter, we are in day 1, week 2 of that quarter. So congratulations, you survived the first week. That can often be the most trying as people are getting used to the curriculum and the schedules. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And we'll go to the course navigation menu. We'll go down to modules and select modules. And then we'll go down to the lesson for the week, which is lesson 3, rounding numbers. So you have 4 main aspects to a lesson. The first one, of course, is a review of the previous lesson here in lesson 2. You have the lesson 3 lecture, which is the current lecture. And then you have class practice to reinforce those concepts that you've learned in the lecture. And then, of course, under assignments, you will have what is the written exercises portion. So that's the homework to help you practice what you've learned in the lecture and what you've become acquainted with and processing through the class practice. So let's go ahead, go to modules, scroll down, lesson 3, rounding numbers, and we're going to go ahead and start with our lesson 2 review. Okay. Another point of information for you, Peter, is that lesson reviews are perfect for refreshing your memory, because there's going to be written exercises that will include review exercises for you, just to make sure that you still remember how to do those and that you don't forget those processes. But if you're not sure about how to perform a particular operation, or if you don't quite remember the lessons in that particular lesson, when you come to those review exercises, you just simply come and visit the review, read the learning objectives, what you're supposed to learn out of that, or why and what you're supposed to learn, and then the actual points to help you with any steps. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started with the lesson 2 review. So the learning outcomes, otherwise, or in other words, what you're supposed to learn in the lesson are as follows. 1, you are to review the goals, and the outcome was to review the concept of place values in the Arabic number system, which is the number system we use, to identify the place value of each digit in a number, to practice counting by numbers halfway between 2 place values, such as 5s, 50s, and 500s, and to extend that skill to counting larger numbers such as 5 millions, and we were able to successfully do that. You were able to count by 5 millions using the powers of 10 principle. So let's move forward to an actual review of the lesson itself. So as a recap, the following rules should be remembered. So the value of a digit depends on where it is used in a number. For an example, although the number here, 4,444,444, uses the same digit, you can see that they're all 4s, each of these digits actually has a different value. For an example, the 4 all the way here to the left and the 4 all the way to the right do not have the same value. Another principle to remember is that moving a digit 1 place to the left in a number increases its value 10 times. So here we use the powers of 10 to help find a digit's value. Okay, so here we see that this is in the units or the ones place, and we see that this is valued at 4. If we move that 1 digit to the right, we see that this is in the tens place value, and that this 4 is not just 4, it's actually 40. That's the value of this digit here. Okay. If we continue, we see that it increases another 10 times. So this 4 is in the hundreds place, and so the value of that 4 is 400. Okay. We also see that moving a digit 1 place to the right in a number decreases its value to 1/10 of the previous value. So taking this one for an example, we see that this 4 in this place value actually represents 400. But if we move toward the right, we see that it actually decreases by 10, and that instead of it being 400, it's actually 40. Okay? So we also know that the digit 0 is important as a placeholder, and that counting by numbers halfway between place values is helpful for understanding how place values are related to one another. Okay, we'll review that as well. So here, of course, are the steps or the process of how to find a given place value of a digit. Okay, so step 1 is to write the given digit. Step 2 would be to multiply the given digit by its place value. Remember the powers of 10, and then you check your work. So you would check your work by reading the problem and then reading your answer. If your answer matches the problem, then it's correct. If it doesn't, then you need to redo it. For an example, if we take this 4 here, we take that digit and we multiply it by its place value, and since that's the hundredths place value, its place value is 100. So if we do 4 multiplied by 100, that would equal 400. Let's go ahead, leave our review, and go to the current lesson for this week's lesson. Okay, so here we'll come to rounding numbers. Okay, so numbers are often rounded when it is not important to know the exact amount. So we have an exact or a precise number, and then we have an estimate or an approximate. Okay, so for an example, a 293-mile trip may be called a 300-mile trip. Okay, in this case, 293 is rounded to the nearest hundred. So following are 2 steps for rounding numbers. 1, decide the place value to which you will round the number. In the examples below, that place value is underlined. Next, look at the digit 1 place value to the right of the place to which you are rounding. If the digit is less than 5, follow steps in example A, and if it is 5 or more, follow the steps in example B. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually move over to the camera and I'm going to show you these examples. Okay, and I think that that will help make more sense for you. Okay, so here are the 3 examples that are given in the textbook, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to work through them. Okay, so we see the first example, and the number is 15,438, and we are to round to the nearest thousand. So that means, and let's go ahead and let's write the problem. Okay, and so as far as the first step is, of course, to, well, find the given place value. So the given place value that we're instructed to work with is, and I'm going to write GPV for given place value, is the 5. So now that we've located the given place value, we're going to take the digit directly to the right of the given place value, and we're going to see its order relationship between it and 5. So here's what we do. We need to see the order relationship between 4 and 5, and we see that 4 is less than 5. So if this digit, the one to the right of the given place value, is less than 5, then we see that the given place value stays the same. So that means what we would do is we would take the 1, because we would have to write that. The given place value stays the same, and everything else turns to zeros. Okay? And that would be our answer. So if whatever this number is, to the right of the given place value is less than 5, we know that the given place value stays the same. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's go to the next problem. So we see example B. Example B says, well, the problem is 179,323,175. And we're to round this to the nearest 10 million. So we know the first comma is thousands. We know that the second comma is millions. So let's go ahead and let's write the problem, because that's always what we need to do. Okay, so thousands, millions, 10 millions, right? So this is the given place value that we need to work with. And then we take the digit to the right of the given place value, and we determine its order relationship with 5. Well, we know that 9 is greater than 5. Okay, so if the number to the right of the given place value is equal to or greater than 5, then we know that the given place value goes up by 1. We add 1 to it. So let's go ahead and let's do that here. Okay, so if we just do this, we see that 7 plus 1 is 8. We have to bring down this digit, and everything else turns to zeros. Okay, and this is our solution. This is our answer. So when we take 179,323,175 and we round that to the nearest 10 million, the answer is 180 million. Let's look at the last example, because the last example is, well, it deals with money. So we have $5.65, and we're to round to the nearest dollar. So let's go ahead and write the problem. Now, when you're dealing with money, it's very important that you include the dollar signs and the decimal. This is the dollar sign, this is the decimal. So this denotes that we have a whole number, which is the $5, and we have parts of a whole number, which is 65 cents. Okay, so the nearest dollar, well, this is the dollar. So we're going to write that as our given place value. And then we're going to pick the number to the right of the given place value. So don't worry about the decimal. The number to the right of the given place value is the 6, and the rules don't change. We're going to check and see the order relationship between that number to the right of the given place value and 5. And we see that 6 is greater than 5. Well, if the number is greater than 5, we see that the given place value increases by 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we know that 5 plus 1 is 6, and then we have to bring down the decimal number, we have to bring down the decimal, and then everything else we convert to zeros, and we can't forget the dollar sign. So $5, and we get to say and with the decimal because we're dealing with a fraction, not a whole number, right? So $5.65 rounded to the nearest dollar is $6. So you may want to go through this and write this down and take notes on this. We're certainly going to do that with the class practice here in a moment, okay? But this is how you deal with rounding numbers based on the given place value that they give you, and how you round money. Always remember the decimal, always remember the dollar sign. Don't let that stop you from, depending on where the given place value is, moving directly to the right, finding the order relationship between 5. Okay, let's go back and return to the lesson. Okay, we're back with the lesson. So we've just completed these 3 examples. And sometimes when you're reading the steps and reading the examples that they give you, it's a little hard to visualize or to process and understand that. That's why I switched over to actually work those examples out. But since we've done that, let's go ahead and move to the class practice session to make sure we understand the concepts in this lesson. So we'll go ahead and click Next. And we will go ahead with our Lesson 3 class practice. So just as a quick review, what is class practice and how does it help me learn? Well, class practice is to be done during the lecture part of the course, and it is right now. This is the part of the lecture. Here, the instructor demonstrates how to perform the operations as learned in the lesson. Now, the written exercises, as opposed to class practice, that's the portion of the course where the student practices what was learned in the lecture part of the class and as demonstrated by the class practice. So let's go ahead and get to practicing. So first, let's go ahead and move this where we can see it. Okay. So the first problem with our class practice, problem A, is 75, and the given place value that they've given us is to the nearest tens. So first we write the problem, and then we identify the given place value. So step 1, identify the given place value. That would be this digit right here in the tens. Okay, so since the 7 is the given place value, we're going to go immediately to the right, and we're going to determine the order relationship between 5 and 5. Okay, so kindly recall that if this digit, whatever it may be, is greater than or equal to 5, we're going to increase the value of the given place value by 1. So 5 we know to be equal to 5, so that means that the given place value is going to go up by 1. So let's go ahead and handle that. 7 plus 1 is 8. And then everything after the given place value, we convert to a 0. So 75 rounded, let me write that. Let's get that out of the way. 75 rounded to the nearest 10 is 80, and we'll circle our solution. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with the next problem. So we have class practice problem B, 1,856, round to the nearest 100. So step 1, always write the problem. Okay, so, but the real step 1 is find the given place value. So we've already been told what it is. It's 100. So 1s, 10s, hundreds. So we know that this is the given place value. Okay. So then step 2 is we go to the right of the given place value, and we determine the order relationship between it and 5. And so we know that 5 is equal to 5. And if a number is greater than or equal to 5, we know that the GPV, the given place value, is increased by 1. So let's go ahead and do that. We know that 8 plus 1, or we can just say at this point 18 plus 1 is 19. And every digit after the given place value is converted to zeros. So 1,856 rounded to the nearest hundred is 1,900. Let's move to the next problem. Class practice problem C. Okay, so we have 483. Okay, so 483 rounded to the nearest thousand. Okay, so this appears to be a little tricky, but let's work it. Let's see what we have. Okay, so let's rewrite the problem. 483. And we are told to round to the nearest thousand. So from here, and this is where you're going to have to remember this because it's a little tricky, this digit here is technically whatever's in the thousands place, that's this right here, is actually a 0. Okay, so there isn't anything to the left, excuse me, of this number, right? So this would be, if there was a digit in the thousands place, it would be a 0 because there's nothing there. So then what you do is we determine that that is our given place value, and then we immediately go to the right of the given place value and determine its order relationship to 5. Well, we see that 4 is less than 5. So if that digit to the right of the given place value is less than 5, we see that the GPV stays the same. Okay, so I wrote this rather poorly. So let's go ahead and we see that 0 stays the same. So we would write, I'm going to bring this over here for you, okay? So let's come back over here. Do not do this with your homework, but just for the sake of the exercise so you can see what happened. We know that this is the given place value, and we know that this is less than 5. So if this number is, if whatever number to the right of the given place value is less than 5, the given place value stays the same. So that would be 0, and then everything after the given place value is converted to 0. The rules don't change. Okay? So the answer to this problem is 0. Okay? Let's continue. So here we have 79,213 rounded to the nearest 10,000. So we know that that's thousands, 10,000. So this is the given place value. Okay, and we see that we take the number to the right of the given place value and we determine its relationship to 5. We see that 9 is greater than 5, so we know that the GPV is going to go up by 1. Okay, so 7 plus 1 is 8, and everything after the given place value is converted to zeros. So 79,213 rounded to the nearest 10,000 is 80,000. Okay, thankfully I've given myself some more room here. Okay, so 600, let's go ahead and write it, 632,890 rounded to the nearest 100,000. So this is thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So we see that this is the given place value. We go to the right of the given place value and determine its order relationship to the number 5. We see that 3 is less than 5. So that means that the given place value remains the same. Okay, so that remains the same. So that's 6, and everything after the given place value is turned to zeros. Okay, so 632,890 rounded to the nearest 100,000 is 600,000. Okay, let's go ahead and continue because we have a few more problems for our class practice. And you should be working along with me on this and taking notes on these so that you can refer back to this if you have any questions. So let's go ahead. 16,759,371 rounded to the nearest million. Thousands, millions. So we see, well, first we're going to write the problem. Okay. And then we're going to determine the given place value, which is right here. We're going to take the digit to the right of the given place value, and we're going to determine its order relationship with 5. We know that 7 is greater than 5. So that means that the given place value increases by 1. So let's do that. 16 plus 1 is 17. And everything after the given place value, we convert to zeros. So 16,759,371 rounded to the nearest million is 17 million. I'm going to give myself a little bit more breathing room on this one here. Okay. So we're just going to kind of bring this down and give ourselves some room. Let me just use a different pen here real quick. So now, with this example, we're dealing with money. So we have $14.36. Now the directions tell us to round to the nearest dollar. So we automatically know that this, since this is the nearest dollar, not tens of dollars, but dollars, we see that that, in this problem, is the given place value. We don't let the decimal bother us. To the right of the nearest dollar, the given place value, we're going to take that digit and determine its order relationship to 5. We know that 3 is less than 5, so if that digit is less than 5, we see that it remains the same. So we have to write the 1. This is the given place value. You write everything that's before the given place value, and then you do what you need to do with the given place value based on this relationship. This is less than, so the GPV stays the same. We don't forget the dollar sign, and we don't forget the decimal. And all the numbers after the given place value, we convert to zeros. So $14.36 rounded to the nearest dollar is $14. We've got one more, so let's go ahead and finish this last one up. So we have $79.61. We see that this is the given place value because we're supposed to round to the nearest dollar. We take the digit to the right of the given place value, and we determine its order relationship between itself and 5. 6 is greater than 5, so we see that the given place value is increased by 1. So let's do that. 9 plus 1 is 10. Uh-oh, now I'm confused. What do I do? I'm not confused. What you do is you do your addition. 9 plus 1 is 10, so you write down the 0 and you carry the 1. And so 1 plus 7 is 8. So we write this. We bring down the dollar sign, bring down the decimal, and all the numbers after the given place value, that's right, they turn to zeros. So $79.61 rounded to the nearest dollar is $80. Okay, so take a moment. You can even pause that if you need to, so that you can go through and take your notes. I'll go ahead, put that there for you so you can see that. You probably can see this pin better than you can see this pin, so I'll start using this one more because I want you to be able to see everything well enough. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go back to the lesson. Okay, Peter, so we have successfully completed the Lesson 3 class practice. You can review this video as many times as you need to in order to see and understand the process of that, okay, and understand the steps. The steps are pretty basic. So you're going to, 1, determine the given place value, or find the given place value. In the directions, it'll give that to you. Okay. Once you do that, you're going to look to the right of that given place value, and you're going to determine the order relationship of that digit with 5. If that digit is less than 5, then the given place value remains the same. You'll write any digits before the given place value, put the given place value is the same, and all digits after the given place value are converted to zeros. If the digit to the right of the given place value is equal to or greater than 5, well, then the GPV is going to increase by 1. Anything before the given place value you write. Then with the given place value, you're going to increase or add 1 to that. And then anything after the given place value, you convert to 0. Any other digits after the given place value, you convert to zeros. If you're dealing with money, it's the same thing. Just don't forget the dollar sign and don't forget the decimal in your answer. And circle your answers. Okay? So from here, now let's go ahead and go to the assignment portion. And we see that your upcoming assignment is Lesson 3, Written Exercise A. So this lesson is due tomorrow by end of day. Let's go ahead and click on it so we can see it. So here, Lesson 3, Written Exercises A, when it's due, how many points it's worth, and how you're going to turn it into me. Lesson 3, Written Exercises, Sections A through F, Problems 1 through 59, every even, not odd, but every even. And the pages in your textbook are 18 and 19. So I've already included for you all the numbers, all the even numbers in that range, so you know exactly what problems you need to do. Okay? So in order for you to get full credit, remember to follow these assignment formatting tips. Okay? Remember that the homework is due tomorrow. So you'll need to, and if you're looking at this on the 5th, then the homework is due tomorrow. If you're looking at this tomorrow, which is on the 6th, it's due that day. Okay, so it's due Tuesday. And I know I keep repeating myself, but I just want to make sure that you understand that. So you'll go ahead and complete this assignment. You'll use the formatting, okay, in order to get full credit. You'll show all your work. You'll circle your answers. You'll give spaces in between the problems. And you'll submit your homework when it's done by end of day tomorrow. in your black folder where you're supposed to submit your homework, okay? So I hope that this lesson is helpful to you. Please feel free to look through your notes and to look through this video as often as you need to. Skip it. You don't have to look at it, from beginning to end, but, you can certainly fast forward and skip to the parts that you need to go to, okay? And if you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to reach out to me and send me a message. You can either do that through text, you could call, you could text, or you could also do, you could also send what's called a Canvas conversation, or it's like an email. So you can do that too. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. It's better for you to do that as soon as you're having a problem than to just wait and turn in incomplete work. Okay? So, thank you very much. Enjoy the lesson, enjoy your work, and have a good evening. Bye.